Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Before we dive in today, I want you to do something for me. Take a breath, forget about the 100 things on your to-do list for the next few minutes, and just be here, because what we're about to talk about can genuinely shift how you see yourself and what you're capable of, whether you're feeling stuck, overwhelmed, or maybe you're just at the end of your tether with where life has you right now. You're in the right place. Napoleon Hill once said something that can change your life forever. The starting point of all achievement is definiteness of purpose. Those are not just words from an old book. They are the truth about life, business, success, and even happiness. Without it, you drift. With it, you succeed. And let's be honest, most people drift. They wake up, go through the motions, take whatever life gives them, and then wonder why they don't feel fulfilled. It's not because they aren't capable. It's not because they aren't smart enough. It's because they have no definite purpose guiding their actions. Think of it this way. Imagine a ship leaving the harbor. If the captain has no map, no destination, and just says, "Let's see where the ocean takes us," what's going to happen? The ship will drift. Maybe it will crash on rocks. Maybe it will float around until it runs out of fuel. But one thing is certain. It won't reach anywhere meaningful. Now imagine another ship leaving the same harbor, but this time with a clear map, a set destination, and a crew working together with purpose. That ship might face storms, it might face challenges, but it will arrive. The difference isn't the ocean, the difference isn't the storms, the difference is the definiteness of purpose. That's your life. And here's the question: are you drifting, or are you sailing towards something with purpose? Napoleon Hill says definiteness of purpose is knowing exactly what you want and being determined to get it. It's clarity, it's focus, it's having a direction so strong that even when the waves of life hit you, you keep moving forward. I want you to pause and reflect for a moment. Do you know what you truly want? Not what people expect of you, not what society says you should do, not what you feel pressured into. I mean what you truly want. Most people never ask themselves this question deeply. That's why they drift. God teaches us that without vision, people lose their way. Vision and purpose are not just nice ideas, they are survival tools for the soul. A person without purpose feels empty, restless, unsatisfied. But a person with purpose feels alive, even in the struggle. Let's dig into this more, because understanding drifting is key. Drifting doesn't feel bad at first. In fact, it feels easy. You don't have to decide. You just let things happen. You adapt. You follow the crowd. But here's the problem. Drifting slowly kills your potential. Years pass by, opportunities slip away, and one day you look back and say, what have I actually done with my life? Have you ever seen someone who changes jobs every year, changes goals every month, and never really commits to anything? That's drifting. Have you ever felt yourself scrolling endlessly, going through routines without thinking, waiting for life to happen? That's drifting. Napoleon Hill called it hypnotic rhythm, the dangerous habit of drifting until it becomes automatic. And once drifting becomes your normal, it takes real effort to break free. But the good news is this: you can choose definiteness of purpose at any moment. One clear decision can change your entire life. Now let's bring this to life with some real stories that show the power of definiteness of purpose. Take Henry Ford. Everyone knows him as the man who revolutionized the car industry. But do you know how he did it? His definite purpose was clear: to build a motor car for the great multitude, not just for the rich, not just for the elite, for everyday people. Back then, cars were toys for the wealthy. People laughed at Ford. They said it was impossible. But Ford didn't drift. He wasn't distracted by critics. He wasn't double-minded. He had a clear, burning purpose. And because of that, he built the Model T, a car affordable to the average family. Henry Ford changed the world not because he was the smartest engineer, but because he had a clear purpose and refused to let it go. That's the power of definiteness. Or think about Andrew Carnegie. He became one of the richest men in history, but his purpose wasn't just money. He made a decision early in life. I will spend the first half of my life making money, and the second half giving it away. That was his definite purpose. And he did it. He built the steel empire. But more importantly, he gave away 90% of his fortune to build libraries, schools, and charities. Even today, people benefit from his purpose. Let me tell you about Steve Jobs. When he returned to Apple in 1997, The company was nearly bankrupt, but Jobs had a clear purpose: to create products that would change how people interact with technology. He wasn't trying to make computers for computer experts. He wanted to make technology beautiful and accessible for everyone. That definiteness of purpose led to the iMac, the iPod, the iPhone, and the iPad. Each product changed entire industries. Jobs didn't achieve this by following market research or copying competitors. He achieved it by staying true to his definite purpose. Consider Oprah Winfrey. She grew up in poverty, faced abuse, and had every reason to drift through life as a victim. But she developed a clear purpose: to use her voice to inspire and uplift others. That purpose took her from a local news anchor to the most influential media personality in the world. Oprah's purpose wasn't about fame or money, it was about service. And because her purpose was bigger than herself, it attracted opportunities, resources, and people who wanted to help her achieve it. Think about Michael Jordan. His definite purpose wasn't just to play basketball, it was to be the greatest basketball player who ever lived. That clarity drove him to practice when others rested, to push through failures when others quit, and to maintain excellence when others settled for good enough. Jordan was cut from his high school basketball team. Most people would have given up, but his definite purpose was so clear that rejection became fuel. He used that setback to work harder and prove his worth. That's what definiteness of purpose does. It turns obstacles into stepping stones. Do you see the pattern? Purpose bigger than self. Ford wanted to serve the great multitude. Carnegie wanted to serve future generations. Jobs wanted to change how people experience technology. Oprah wanted to uplift humanity. Jordan wanted to inspire through excellence. That's why their purposes lasted. That's why they achieved greatness. Now, you might be thinking, well, I'm not Henry Ford or Steve Jobs or Oprah. I'm just me. And that's the beauty of it. Definiteness of purpose works at every level. It doesn't have to be global. It just has to be clear. Your purpose might be to build financial freedom for your family. Your purpose might be to start a business that helps people. Your purpose might be to live a healthy life so you can be present for your children. Your purpose might be to become an expert in your field so you can provide value to others. The size of the purpose doesn't matter. The clarity does. But here's what many people don't understand. Purpose isn't just motivational speak. There's actual science behind why it works. When you have a definite purpose, your brain activates what psychologists call the reticular activating system. This is the part of your brain that filters information and decides what to pay attention to. When you're clear about what you want, your brain starts noticing opportunities, resources, and people that can help you achieve it. Have you ever decided to buy a certain car, and then suddenly you start seeing that car everywhere? It's not that there are more of those cars on the road, it's that your brain is now programmed to notice them. That's how definiteness of purpose works with opportunities. When Colonel Sanders was 65 years old, he had a clear purpose: to franchise his chicken recipe. He was rejected 1009 times before someone said yes. Most people would have quit after 10 rejections, but his purpose was so clear that rejection became data, not defeat. Sanders understood something powerful. A person with a definite purpose will find a way. A person without one will find an excuse. Research shows that people with clear purposes live longer, have better health, and experience less stress. Why? Because purpose gives meaning to struggle. When you know why you're doing something, you can endure almost anyhow. Viktor Frankl, a Holocaust survivor and psychiatrist, wrote about this in his book Man's Search for Meaning. He observed that the people who survived the concentration camps weren't necessarily the strongest physically. They were the ones who had a reason to live, a purpose that kept them going when everything else was taken away. Frankl said, "Those who have a why to live can bear with almost any how." That's the power of definite purpose. It doesn't eliminate challenges, it gives you the strength to overcome them. So how do you find your definite purpose? Let's break it down step by step. First, ask yourself honestly, what do I truly want from life? If I stripped away all expectations, all pressure, all fear, what would I want? This isn't as easy as it sounds. Most people have been conditioned to want what others expect them to want. Your parents might want you to be a doctor. Society might tell you to chase money. Your friends might pressure you to follow certain paths. But what do you want? Sit in quiet and really listen to your heart. Spend time in prayer, asking God to reveal your true calling. What would you do if you knew you couldn't fail? What would you pursue if money wasn't a factor? What problems do you feel called to solve? Second, write it down clearly. Vague goals don't create power. I want to be happy is too vague. I want to be financially free by building a business that provides value to others is clear. I want to help people is vague. I want to become a therapist who helps teenagers overcome anxiety and depression is clear. I want to be successful is vague. I want to create a YouTube channel that teaches financial literacy to young adults is clear. The more specific your purpose, the more power it has to guide your decisions and actions. Third, ask yourself why. Why do I want this? If your why is weak, you'll quit when things get hard. But if your why is strong, nothing will stop you. Simon Sinek teaches that people don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. The same is true for your own motivation. You don't sustain effort based on what you're doing. You sustain it based on why you're doing it. If your purpose is to build a business just to make money, you'll quit when the work gets hard. But if your purpose is to build a business so you can provide security for your family and create jobs for others, you'll find a way through any obstacle. Fourth, create a plan. Break it into steps. Don't just say, I want to be free. Ask, what's step one? Save money. Learn a skill. Start small. Take action. Napoleon Hill said, a goal is a dream with a deadline. Your definite purpose needs specific, measurable steps. If your purpose is to start a business, what's the first step? Research your market. Save startup capital. Learn a new skill. Take that step this week. If your purpose is to write a book, what's the first step? Write one page today. If your purpose is to get in shape, what's the first step? Go for a walk tonight. Big purposes are achieved through small, consistent actions. Fifth, read it daily. Keep it in front of you. Purpose means focus. Every morning, read your purpose statement. Remind yourself why you're doing what you're doing. Every evening, ask yourself, did I take action toward my purpose today? This daily practice keeps your purpose alive in your mind and helps you make decisions that align with your vision. And sixth, commit. Once you make up your mind, stand firm. Napoleon Hill reminds us, when someone decides with clarity, the only thing that can stop them is themselves. Commitment means you don't change your purpose based on circumstances. You might adjust your methods, but your purpose remains steady. When others doubt you, you stay committed. When obstacles arise, you stay committed. When progress is slow, you stay committed. Purpose is not just an idea, it's a daily practice, and that's why habits matter. But let's be honest, there are enemies of purpose. Why? Things that will try to steal your focus and make you drift. Let me tell you what they are so you can recognize and defeat them. The first enemy is distraction. We live in the most distracted generation in human history. Social media, news, entertainment, and endless options for how to spend our time. Distraction kills purpose because it fragments your attention. Here's the truth. You can't pursue everything and achieve anything meaningful. You have to choose. Steve Jobs understood this. When he returned to Apple, he didn't try to make every type of computer. He focused on a few products and made them excellent. The same principle applies to your life. You can't have 5 different purposes at the same time. You need one clear, definite purpose that guides your decisions. Everything else becomes secondary. The second enemy is doubt. Self-doubt will whisper, who do you think you are? You're not qualified for this. Other people are smarter, more talented, more experienced. Here's what you need to know. Doubt is normal, but it's not truth. Every person who achieved something significant dealt with doubt. The difference is they didn't let doubt stop them from taking action. Colonel Sanders had doubt. Steve Jobs had doubt. Oprah had doubt, but they acted in spite of doubt. They understood that confidence comes from action, not the other way around. The third enemy is comparison. Social media makes this worse. You see other people's highlight reels and compare them to your behind-the-scenes struggles. You think, they're so much further ahead than me, I'll never catch up. But here's the truth. Everyone is on their own timeline. Your purpose is unique to you. Comparing your chapter 1 to someone else's chapter 20 is a recipe for discouragement. Focus on your own race. Celebrate others' success without letting it diminish your own progress. Your purpose is not a competition with others. It's a commitment to yourself. The fourth enemy is perfectionism. Perfectionism tells you to wait until you're fully prepared, until you have all the resources, until conditions are perfect, but perfect conditions never come. The founder of LinkedIn said, "If you're not embarrassed by the first version of your product, you've launched too late." The same principle applies to pursuing your purpose. Start before you're ready. Learn as you go. Improve as you progress. The fifth enemy is other people's opinions. Not everyone will understand your purpose. Some will discourage you. Others will try to convince you to be realistic or practical. But remember, most people are drifting. They don't understand what it means to have a clear purpose. Their lack of vision doesn't make your vision wrong. If you feel called to a purpose, if it aligns with your values and serves others, don't let other people's limitations limit you. Pray about it. Seek God's guidance, but don't let fear of judgment stop you from pursuing what you're called to do. Every morning, review your purpose. Remind yourself why you're here. Take time to pray, meditate, or speak positive words over your life. Every day, take at least one step toward your purpose, even if it's small. Share your goals with someone who will hold you accountable. And at night, reflect. Did I live on purpose today, or did I drift? Let me give you a simple daily routine that will keep you connected to your purpose. Start each day by reading your purpose statement out loud. Then ask yourself, what's the most important thing I can do today to move toward my purpose? Do that thing first, before anything else claims your attention. Around lunchtime, pause and ask, am I still on track? Have I been distracted? What do I need to refocus on for the rest of the day? This simple check-in can save you from wasting entire afternoons on unimportant activities. Before bed, ask yourself 3 questions. What did I do today that moved me toward my purpose? What did I learn? What will I do differently tomorrow? This reflection helps you learn from each day and improve your approach. Every Sunday, look at your week as a whole. Did you live on purpose or did you drift? What patterns do you notice? Where can you improve? This weekly review helps you stay on course and make adjustments. God teaches us to make our plans clear so that we can pursue them with intention. That's not just spiritual advice. That's practical life wisdom. Write it, read it, run with it. But here's something else that's crucial. Your purpose must be bigger than yourself. The most powerful purposes involve serving others, solving problems, or creating value for the world. Why? Because when your purpose is only about you, you'll quit when things get hard. But when your purpose serves something bigger than yourself, you'll find strength you didn't know you had. Martin Luther King Jr. had a purpose bigger than himself, equality and justice for all people. That purpose sustained him through threats, imprisonment, and countless obstacles. He didn't give up because his purpose wasn't about personal gain. It was about serving humanity. Mother Teresa had a purpose bigger than herself, serving the poorest of the poor. That purpose gave her the strength to work in the slums of Calcutta for decades, bringing hope to people the world had forgotten. Your purpose doesn't have to be as global as theirs, but it should extend beyond your own needs and desires. How can you serve others through your purpose? How can you solve problems or create value for people? Here's what nobody tells you about living with purpose. It will be tested. There will be moments when you question everything, moments when progress seems impossible, moments when others achieve success faster than you, moments when you wonder if you're on the right path. These moments are not signs that you should quit. They are tests of your commitment to your purpose. Thomas Edison had a definite purpose: to create practical applications for electricity. He failed over 10,000 times trying to invent the light bulb. When asked about his failures, he said, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." That's the mindset of someone with definite purpose. Failure becomes feedback. Setbacks become setups for comebacks. Obstacles become opportunities to grow stronger. J.K. Rowling was a single mother on welfare when she wrote the first Harry Potter book. She was rejected by 12 publishers before one finally said yes. Her purpose, to tell stories that would inspire young people, kept her going when circumstances suggested she should give up. Colonel Sanders was 65 when he started franchising KFC. He was rejected 1,009 times. But his purpose was clear: to share his chicken recipe with the world. Rejection didn't change his purpose. It only strengthened his resolve. Here's what these stories teach us. Purpose isn't about avoiding failure. It's about persisting through failure. It's about getting up one more time than you fall down. It's about believing in your vision, even when others don't see it yet. When your purpose gets tested, and it will, remember these truths. First, Every great achievement required someone to persist when others would have quit. Your willingness to continue when things get hard is what separates you from those who drift. Second, setbacks are temporary, but purpose is permanent. A bad day, a failed attempt, or a closed door doesn't change your calling, it only changes your approach. Third, the size of your purpose determines the size of the obstacles you'll face. Small purposes face small obstacles. Great purposes face great obstacles. Don't let the magnitude of challenges convince you to shrink your purpose. Let it confirm that you're on the right path. Fourth, you don't have to see the whole staircase to take the first step. Martin Luther King Jr. said this, and it's true for everyone with purpose. You don't need to know every detail of how you'll achieve your purpose. You just need to take the next step. Here's something powerful about definiteness of purpose. It compounds over time. Every day you live with purpose builds upon the previous day. Small actions, repeated consistently, create extraordinary results. Think about it this way. If you improve by just 1% each day for a year, you'll be 37 times better by the end of that year. If you get 1% worse each day, you'll decline to nearly zero. The difference between improvement and decline isn't dramatic daily changes. It's the compound effect of small, consistent actions. Warren Buffett understood this principle. His purpose was to become an excellent investor and build wealth through compound returns. He didn't try to get rich quickly. He invested consistently, learned continuously, and let time work in his favor. Today, he's one of the richest people in the world, not because of dramatic single investments, but because of consistent action over decades. The same principle applies to any purpose. If your purpose is to build a business, you don't need to create $1 million company overnight. You need to take one small step each day toward building that business. Make one sales call. Write one page of your business plan. Learn one new skill. Those small actions, compounded over time, create extraordinary results. If your purpose is to write a book, you don't need to write it in a week. You need to write one page each day. In a year, you'll have a 365-page book. That's the power of compound purpose. If your purpose is to get in excellent physical condition, you don't need to transform your body in a month. You need to exercise for 30 minutes each day and make good nutritional choices. In a year, you'll be in the best shape of your life. The key is consistency. Purpose without action is just a dream. Action without purpose is just busy work. But purpose with consistent action creates miracles. One thing that's crucial for living with purpose, you need the right people around you. Not everyone will understand your purpose. Some people will actively discourage you. Others will try to convince you to be realistic. But here's what Napoleon Hill discovered in his research. Every successful person had what he called a mastermind group, people who supported their purpose and helped them achieve it. You need to intentionally build your support system. As always, the choice is yours. Thanks for investing your time with me today. I truly appreciate it. If this resonated with you, please subscribe, give it a like, and share it with someone who needs to hear this.